Good day, my friends, and welcome to the 10-minute book talk, where three best-selling authors talk all things bookish with you for 10 short and sweet minutes every week. I am joined today with my guests. We have a guest, but really I'm joined with my hostesses. Katherine Reay is here with us, of course, and the gorgeous Rachel Linden. And today, oh boy, Shelley Shepard Gray fans are going to be excited, and there's a lot of them because Shelley Shepard Gray is a New York Times bestselling and USA Today's bestselling novelist, and she is here to tell us about her new book, Sycamore Circle. Welcome to the 10-minute book talk, Shelley. We're so glad you're here. Tell us a little bit.
Thank you. I am delighted to be here. I couldn't be happier. Let me tell you a little bit about Sycamore Circle. It just came out. I'm thrilled about this. Thank you. It's the second in a series, but it can definitely stand alone. And in a nutshell, I have a former ex-con meeting a literacy tutor lady in a coffee shop named Sacred Grounds in the middle of Ohio. So eventually we find out that there's a lot of people bothering Joy, and she has a stalker, and she has a whole group of suspects. So we're all trying to figure out who is bothering her. Could it be one of the people she's tutoring? Could it be one of the people she's selling paintings to? Or could it be this new man in her life? So
really an intrigue. Much
it was fun. It was fun to write for sure.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going all sorts of different directions, lots of intrigue.
I know, yeah, and it did. It was fun. I love writing this series because it's fast paced, and I have kind of a motley group of people and from all different walks of life. I have Bo, my hero, who is an ex-con who actually looks a little bit like Brad Pitt in the 90s. And I have a teenage daughter of Joy, my literacy tutor. I've got her love interest, which is an Amish boy working at a diner. So there's just a lot of people involved, and I have an ex-husband in there too. It was fun. And I feel like I covered a lot of bases, and it's just always a joy when you get to write something that you want to get to know every person there. And by the time I finished the book, I was really sad to see him go.
Yeah. No, before I let Rachel in, because I kind of cut into a different question. I wanted to ask you though, because you do have so much going on, but adult literacy as a theme, obviously through Joy's work, but it comes up very quickly. And it's such an interesting theme in a book. I really enjoy that. Tell me a little bit about that and how that.
Well, it's a personal joy for me. I mean, what it is being a writer for so long, being part of Romance Writers of America, American Christian fiction writers. You know, at every writers organization, we one of our charities is literacy, and I ended up, when I lived in Cincinnati, going down a weekend and tutoring. Learning how to tutor adults. And I was sure I was going to be a piece of cake because I used to be a sixth grade teacher. And I found out, no, it's something very different. And we even had some guests come in, and they talked about how not being able to read, even at a middle school level, had hindered every single part of their life. And it just meant a lot to me. And I always kind of put in my back pocket, one day I'm going to have a heroine do this. Like, don't y'all do this? Sometimes you meet someone, or you realize someone, and you're like, well, I don't know if I could be that at this point in my life, but I'd sure like to pretend I was for a little while. So Joy, I guess, is my alter ego for a little bit. I mean, she's doing good things for a lot of people that I wish at this point in my life I had time to do.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Lovely. Yeah. I know it feels like this book, and I'm guessing your other books as well, are really about second chances. And I'm so curious, why is that theme important to you?
Well, with my hero being an ex-con, it lends itself very well to second chances. And really, for this whole series, it's all about some guys who used to be in prison, and the leader is in charge of a halfway house and they're trying to get integrated in society. And that's really what started this whole, the whole series, is the thought of maybe when we're watching TV or we're reading a news article, we're like, oh yeah, all these people need a second chance and I would love to help them. But what do you do when they're your next door neighbor? What do you do when they want to date you? You know, I mean, maybe is it natural to be like, I don't know, you know, never thought I'd be dating an ex-con today. And so there's a little bit of that but what I've realized, and maybe I think all of us by the time you reach a certain age, I guess, is we all want a second chance. You know, I'm sure between our moves and you know, just different stages in my life, I've reinvented myself and asked for another chance. Even after my kids went to college and then eventually got married, and then it's another stage in your life, and you kind of are like, all right, let's get up and go, Shelley. How can I redo myself now? So I guess it's a common theme all of us can relate to. I love writing books that have things that we've all experienced one time or another.
Well,
Yeah.
that is a universal theme. It's true. We're all reinventing ourselves all the time. You know, one more thing I just wanted to ask you, what are you really hoping that readers take away from this book?
You know, I read for pleasure. I'm a voracious reader. But so my number one goal is always that they enjoy the book. Books are expensive and time is hard. So if somebody picks up a book and they read it in 4 hours, they're like, you know what? I'm really glad I did that. That makes me happy. If there was a bigger, you know, theme or something, I hope. I just hope that maybe they'll connect with some of these characters, and one of the things that they're passionate about will maybe inspire a reader to delve further into that, especially literacy.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. And I think you're so right. Our very first job as writers is to entertain. There might be some other good stuff, but that's, you know, that's the first thing we've got to do. So good for you. I love that attitude. Well, Shelley, hold up your book. Thank you so much for joining us today. My friends, if you are looking for a fast-paced, uplifting, intriguing read that's going to take you to just off and entertain you for a while, and then maybe learn a little bit in the way characters you can connect with, get Shelley Shepard Gray's new book, Sycamore Circle. And the other thing you should do, this is very important, now pay attention, join us next week on the 10-minute book talk. We will be here. We expect that you will too. If we are, then you should. So it's an obligation. Okay. See you then. Thank you, Shelley, for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see you
you
next
all.
time.
It was so much fun.